Now let's understand the console object in this lecture. The question is, explain different console object methods. First, let us understand what exactly is the console object. The console object provides access to the developer tool debugger console from inside the code. Console is part of global window object, so you can write window.console, or you can directly say console because it's part of global object, so directly available. In the code here on this button click, I will show you different console object methods. There are various console object methods, among which we have already seen a commonly used console.log method, which is basically used to print logs in the developer tool console. Let me click on the button and the log is displayed. Let me define a variable here, say txt is equal to document.getElementById h3.innerHTML, and let's say console.log txt. Let's save the file and run it. So the console.log method prints the log messages in the console and used to evaluate and inspect the variable values in the program. Another method is console.info, which outputs the informative log messages to the console, unlike the console.log method. For example, instead of log, if I say console.info and remove this .innerHTML, let's save this and run. So it displays the HTML tag with its content and information related to attributes. Let me add one more button here and change this to btn. I am changing this to get elements by tag name, and here I say button. And now let's save this and let's click on the button. So as you see that the information related to the elements is displayed. There is one more method that is used to display code data in a tabular format in the console, and that can be done using console.table. So I have a string array having few values and display this array data saying console.table, and I give str. In the browser, let me dock the developer tool to bottom first and click on the button. The first is the index of the array element field, and other shows their values along with the array length below. If you click on the field names, it sorts in ascending or descending orders. This console can be used to write JavaScript directly for testing purposes. I can write this code here as well. Now let me press enter and I'm going to inspect the result. When you want to provide any custom warning, for example, I will use console.warn, and here I give the warning message. It displays a warning in the console. As my console has too many outputs, I want to clear it. So I will use the console.clear method directly in the console and press enter. This will clear the console with a message that says console was cleared. Now this you can use when you want to make sure that before you console log anything, you want to have a clear console. So this can be a very handy method to use. Now to display any error message in the console, the console.error method is used. Just as here I used the throw statement, let me change it to console.error. This will not work as an exception anymore, but simply provide the error message. Let's save the file and let me give only one value and click on add. So the error message is displayed here. This sidebar shows different log messages like error message, user message, and warning, etc. To debug any function or code snippet, there is a method called console.debug. I will create one more button. On click event, we'll call the function named function debug. Under the script tag, I will call the function and say console.debug, and will debug this function. And let me change this to elements, save the file, and let's click on the button. So it debugs the function and error message is displayed.